nutrition. Okay, madali lang nutrition. Okay, so let's start since it is already recorded. Ayan, annyeonghaseyo again. Annyeonghaseyo everyone. And I hope you are excited na po for the board examination. So dapat excited tayo para po we can think positively. Dapat positive po tayo lagi. Okay? Kasi pag worried po tayo, yung ating pong utak ay worried din. So we can, baka makakapagsagot tayo ng negatively. So dapat excited po tayo. Okay? Dapat excited po tayo sa exam natin para yung results din po ay excited. Ganon. So, wag po kayong matakot sa mga questions because they are just questions, they are just words, but we can answer them all kasi we have enough knowledge, we have enough foundation to answer those questions. Okay? So now let's talk about thermoregulation, which is part of the animal science that we need to discuss also. Yes, there's supposed to be na-discuss siya yesterday, kaso lang hindi tayo umabot na. So, ito po ay na-discuss nung first ito po yung na-discuss namin nung last March, if I'm not mistaken, March or April, about sa thermoregulation. So now, I will be discussing only the important matter about the thermoregulation. So we are not going to discuss about the shivering. Okay, so pag shivering po kasi, it is how you are going to make heat in your body. Okay, it is how you are going to make heat in your body. Shivering, yung ginaganito mo yung pinapahid mo mabuti yung yung katawan para mag-compose ng heat. That is shivering po pag malamig ang panahon. Okay? So, when you talk about thermoregulation, it talks about the body temperature. Okay? Huwag mong kalimutan yan, ha? Pag sinabi pong thermoregulation, ibig sabihin po, from the word is of thermo or parang thermos. O, ano yung thermo o thermos? Or thermometer, parang ganon. It talks about the temperature inside of your body. Okay? Ang regulation, it is how it talks about the process or the regulation, okay, and the process or how it changes the cold into hot and hot into cold. So that is thermoregulation. Yan, lumalabas din po yan sa board exam. However, those questions are technicals. Okay, so you need to analyze properly the statement in order to answer about thermoregulation. Okay, so now pagpasensya na niyo kasi nakatapa si sir because we don't have extra chair and table here. Okay, so ayan, magpasensya nyo na po. So, ayan, so when talk about thermoregulation, it talks about the body temperature regulation or the body temperature of the animals, which is, this is resulting to the balance of heat production and the heat dissipation. What do you mean by heat productions? No, pagpuproduce ng heat sa katawan mo at saka pagwawala or pagre-respire ng mga heat, yung heat heat temperature sa loob ng katawan mo or ng animals, okay? And also, the body temperature, its stability is prerequisite for high productivity in animals. Pag tinatanong natin yung tao, bakit ang init mo? Siyempre, buhay. Ganon. Pag init, magmainit po, ibig sabihin, pag mainit po yung tao, ibig sabihin po ay meron pang, yung cell po ay gumagana pa. Okay, yung cell sa katawan ay gumagana pa. Kaya nga minsan, 'di ba, pag namatay yung tao, pag ginahawakan natin yung katawan, 'di ba, malamig. It means that yung cell niya ay patay na. Okay? It's not processing anymore. It's not even functioning anymore. Pero pag buhay po siya, mahahawakan natin like mainit yung katawan niya because the cell is working properly. Okay? So, minsan may minsan na pag sa animals din minsan, pag hindi pa siya malamig, pag mainit pa yung nafe-feel ko, ibig sabihin there's still a possibilities na buhay pa yung isang animal. Yung ganun po. There's still a possibility. Maybe meron pang kakaunting pulse rate na natitira. Yun. So, may tendency pa na mabubuhay siya because there's still a cell who's still working well pa. Ganun. So, pag malamig na siya, yun na po yung time na ibig sabihin patay na siya. Okay? So, that's what we call the thermoregulation. Okay, so in the thermoregulation, there are two groups that is based on the ability to regulate the body temperature with the respect to their environment. Okay, example, yung mga reptiles, okay, yung mga ano pa ba? Mga reptiles, mga mammals, yung ganun. There are animals po na cold-blooded and there are also animals that are warm-blooded. Okay, so let's talk about warm-blooded and cold-blooded animals. Okay? Pag sinabing warm-blooded, and cold-blooded. Pag sinabi mong warm-blooded animals, ito yung mga animals na tinatawag natin mga homeotherms. Okay? Homeotherms. Ano ibig sabihin sa homeotherms? Ibig sabihin they are, warm-blooded animals, Warm-blooded animals. Okay? Homeotherms. Yan. Homeotherms. It is the body temperature is largely independent of that of their environment. Okay? So ibig sabihin, yung mga type ng hayop na to, yung mga homeotherms or mga warm-blooded terms, they are only independent sa environment. Example, pag malamig ang panahon, malamig din ang katawan nila. Ganon. Example, pag mainit ang panahon, mainit din ang katawan nila. Example, we have here the reptiles. Am I correct? Warm-blooded? Okay, those reptiles, example, animals are warm-blooded animals. Okay? So, they are, parang ano sila, nakikiuso sa environment. Okay, ganon. Mga homeotherms. Okay, mga homeothermic. No? Nakikiuso sila sa environment or conditions sa environment. Ganun po ang ibig sabihin ng warm-blooded animals. Okay? Next is we have the cold-blooded animals. Pag sinabing cold-blooded animals, they are also known as poikilothermic. Okay? Poikilothermic or poikilotherm. Okay? It's poikilothermic or poikilotherm. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Ito yung mga animals na sinasabi natin na yung body temperature nila varies directly with that of the environment. Ibig sabihin parang nakiki-contrast or nakikipag-opposite sila sa environment. Example, tulad tayo sa mga tao, no, di ba? Example tayo is mga cold-blooded animal tayo. Kasi mga cold-blooded mammals tayo. Kasi nga, pag mainit ang panahon, yung katawan natin ay nagpo-produce ng malamig, na di ba, na temperature. Pag malamig talaga ang panahon, yung katawan natin nagpo-produce ng heat. So that's what we call a cold-blooded, cold-blooded animals or also known as poikilothermic. Okay? So sabihin na lang natin, si worm, ilalagay natin dito, si worm ay nakikiuso. Okay? Same with the environment. Yan. Same with environment. Okay? Pag sinabi natin cold-blooded animal or poikilothermic, ibig sabihin po ay opposite. Okay? Opposite temperature. Okay? Opposite ang temperatures with the environment. Tayo ay directly, nag-change po yung katawan natin directly dahil sa environment. So that is what we call cold-blooded or poikilothermic. Baka iba po ang term na ilalabas sa board exam, at least alam niyo po ibig sabihin yan. Okay? And then now, aside from that, aside sa two groups that is based on the thermoregulation, we also have this what we call the process. Okay? The process of heat dissipation. Okay? The process of heat dissipation. So what are the process of heat dissipation? Number one, we have what we call the conduction. Okay? What is the conduction? Okay, lalagay muna natin lahat. So we have the conduction, convection, yan. Conduction, convection, radiation, and evaporation. Okay, or vaporation. Yan. Radiation. Okay. And next, we have the vaporization. Yan. Vaporization. Okay, so let's start first with the conduction. Pag sinabi mong conduction, that is, the word itself, conduct. O, nagsisimula. Siya yung unang nagsisimula ng heat. O, heat. Conduct. O, siya yung nagsisimula. Parang nagsistart ng heat. So, pag sinabing conduction, it involves directly contact of the animal with a part of its environment. Okay, so ibig sabihin, direct contact. Pag direct contact, pag nahawakan, that is conduction. It's the direct contact. The word itself, conduct, the word conduct is starting or ikaw yung nagsisimula ng heat. Yung gano'n. So, pag nahawakan mo, di ba, makaka-feel ka. Pag na-feel mo na, that is what we call convection. There is a changing on the temperature ng heat. changing ng heat or ng temperature already. Kasi nga nakaka-feel ka na, uy, mainit man yung katawan mo, uy, malamig man yung katawan mo. Yon. So, kasi ikaw, you are conducting, you are starting with a temperature of either malamig or mainit ka. Okay? So, conduction refers to the direct contact. Always remember the word. Direct contact of the animal with a part of its environment. Okay? Direct contact. Yun ang lagi nasa isipan na, direct contact. Okay? Convection naman, that is the heat transferred. It's either up or down or lower or higher. Okay? Heat is transferred. Okay? Heat is transferred. Transferred. Okay? Heat is transferred to or from the animals, to or from, di ba? To or from the animal by the movement of the heated air particles. The posture of the animal and other conditions affecting surface area affect heat convection. So that yan po ang tinatawag natin convection. Okay? Yan pa example, 'di ba pag nagluluto tayo ng, let's say nagluluto tayo ng fried fish. Okay, nagluluto tayo ng fried fish. Pag 'di ba pag hinawakan natin yung hawakan niya, mainit, right? Yung hawakan lang muna ha, nafi-feel natin yung init. Ang tawag dun ay conduction. Why? Because you are conducting the cold, we are conducting to make our temperature cold because we know that the fan is hot. Oh, pag hinawakan natin yung hawakan ng fan, mainit, right? Mainit 'yon. So, ibig sabihin, wala pang nangyaring transferable. Nafi-feel mo pa lang, ay, mainit siya, mainit. Ganon. So, mainit. Now, when you talk about convection on that fan, where you cook, where you are cooking the fried fish, okay, ang convection doon is yung higher to lower. Yung apoy. Nagets niyo? Yung apoy with the fan. Kasi yung apoy, magbibigay siya ng higher temperature. And then yung fan ngayon ay parang mag-normalize siya sa heat process. Okay? So it's either higher or lower. So ganun po ang ibig sabihin ng convection. Higher or lower kasi transferable 'yon. 'Di ba si flame ay saan siya nagbibigay siya ng mainit na temperature para maluto yung fish. Right? 'Yon. Para maluto yung fish. Nagta-transfer ng heat si flame kay fan. 'Yon. And then when you talk about radiation, okay? Yung radiation naman po, okay. Pag sinabi nating radiation, it is the transfer of heat. Transfer din po siya ng heat. Okay? This one, transfer din po siya ng heat to or from the animals. To or from the animals. Yung convection. To or from the animals. Yung radiation naman po, yung radiation, transferring of heat din po siya. Transferring of heat. Ano nga ba yung meaning sa transfer? Heat transfer din po siya via, anong term? Via electromagnetic. Ito yung lagi nyong imamind. Pag sa radiation, it talks about the electromagnetic waves. Okay? It talks about the changing or the transferable heat via electromagnetic waves. Okay? What it is? Via electromagnetic waves. It is the no material between of physical or the no material between medium or physical contact. Example, 'di ba pag sa mata mo nafi-feel mo na pag 'di ba ngayon nanonood ka ngayon nakaka-feel ka na like something mainit yung mata mo because of the radiation, because of the electromagnetic waves. 'Di ba nga pag nagfa-fry, yun nga, bumalik tayo doon sa part na nag-fried ka ng fish. 'Di ba pag nag-fried ka ng fish, makaka-feel ka like, bakit mainit man? Yung na-feel mo, yung mainit siya, na pag nahawakan mo, like ginaganon mo siya, mainit man because of the radiation. Yun, because of the radiation. Because of the electromagnetic waves. Okay? Pag sinabi mo namang vaporation or evaporation, meaning the liquid become into gas. It is the conversion of liquid become into gas. Okay? And when you talk about evaporation also, it is the most important process, pinaka-importanting process mo yan, by which the animal lose heat. Okay? Lose heat to maintain a constant body temperature. Kaya siya importante. Okay? Heat loss from the skin and respiratory surfaces. Bakit po kailangan? Vaporization is the heat loss. Importante siya para mawala yung sobrang init sa katawan. Oh, 'di ba? Pag example ganito, napapansin ko sa sarili ko, pag nilalagnat ako or may nafe-feel ako something sa katawan ko na sobrang init ko na, what I did is nag-exercise ako. So ang ginagawa ko, nagpapawis ako. You know what's the reason bakit ang nagpapawis? Para lumabas yung mga toxic sa katawan through or via sweat. Yun, via sweat. So pag lumabas yun, therefore yung liquid ay naging nag-evaporate, nawawala na, there will be a heat loss. Nagkakaroon ng maintenance or nagme-maintain ang heat temperature or body temperature. Okay? So yan po ang tinatawag natin the process of heat dissipation. Okay? Naintindihan nyo na ba? Naintindihan? Lumalabas yan sa board exam. Yes, usama.
Katong iba ka ng exam na to last time is bago ni cemento ang answer degrees, answer conduction. Ano man sir?
Radiation
Conduction ay katong ligdang bago sa cemento sir.
Depende sa question.
Conduction naman sir.
Tawag sa question. Asa na diri oh?
Dito tong first yung topic na sir.
Okay.
Conduction man sir, di ba?
Conduction kay kung man siya direct.
Oh, direct contact man siya. Yes, di ba? Oh, pag
Convection ka ng mapil di ba sir?
yeah, napila mo na may changes na sa heat. Oh, di ba? Example, pag di ba pag nakahiga pa lang ang baboy sa floor. Pag nakahiga pa lang siya sa floor, yung first na may mafe-feel niya is malamig. So that is conduction because parang nagsisimula pa lang siya. From the word self-conduct, siya yung nagsisimula pa lang ang lamig or ang init from the floor. Oh. So pag nafe-feel niya na ngayon na yung lamig, nagta-transfer na sa katawan niya, that is what we call convection. Oh. Gets na? O yun. Kasi meron yun sa question eh. Oo. Kaya ang tanong doon is conduction. Siya talaga yung nauuna. Okay? Yes po, Ma'am Bimbong Ombo. Yan. Sino si Bembong lalaki? Yan. Yes po, you raise your hand. Do you have any question? I am open for question and clarification po. Wala na? Okay. Napindot lang siguro yan ni Sir. Okay. So when you talk about, okay, yun ha, that is thermoregulation. Lumalabas sa board exam, right? Yes. Homeostasis. Oh, sa homeostasis. Neutrality. Oo. Thermal neutrality po, that is homeostasis. Homeostasis, sorry. The word is homeostasis. Okay, so, buti naman kayo. Sige, mas maganda talaga kung i-define natin siya lang mabuti. We have homeostasis. Homeostasis is any self-regulating process by which an organism tends to maintain stability while adjusting to the conditions that are best for its survival. So ang tawag din po noon sa homeostasis is also known as thermal neutrality. Thermal neutrality. Pag sinabi mong thermal neutrality, ibig sabihin nagkakaroon ka ng homeostasis. Ang homeostasis po, ang work po ng homeostasis is to balance the temperature in your body. Homeostasis, thermoregulation, ganun din po yun eh. Isa lang po yun sila. Yun. Homeostasis, thermoregulation, thermal neutrality, yun. Binabalance yung temperature sa katawan. So the body temperature na, pag binabalance, meaning it's normal and without much regulation. Walang masyadong kailangan na asikasuhin. And then the environmental temperature at which the heat loss, okay, is equal to the minimum heat production. Dapat yung heat loss is equal to the heat production. Dapat ganun. Parang market equilibrium siya, kumbaga. Okay, parang MC or marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. Ganun lang po siya. Okay, so ganun po. Pag lumabas yung homeostasis, that is also talking about the neutrality or thermal neutrality of the body. Okay? Normal regulation. Or kumaga, the animal is adjusting to the environment. Okay? That's being a cold-blooded animal. Yan. So, nagets? Hopefully, nagets nyo yan. Kasi yan lumalabas yan sa board exam. Laging present yan. Okay? And next is, now, let's proceed to animal nutrition. Ayan. So, ayan. So, sukol tayo, sukol. So, when we talk about animal nutrition, always remember, when we talk about animal nutrition, okay, so let's define first nutrition. Okay? Tiyan na. Okay, sige na.
Ano, niya sa'yo.
Okay. Go na. Okay, nutrition is the series of process. Ano ang nutrition? Series of process. It is a series of process. That is nutrition. Okay? Series siya ng process. Ibig sabihin, madami siya. Okay, series of processes. Hindi lang siya isang process, but series of process. Okay, so that is nutrition. Okay? So, it's not only talking about one isang bagay, but it talks about a lot or various relationships. Yon. Or series of relationship. Okay? By which an organism takes in. Okay? By which an organism takes in and assimilates food. Okay? Takes in the food and assimilate the food into when you talk about assimilation, distribution of the nutrients throughout the body cell, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, when the animal or the people taking in the food, no, it also assimilates the food or the nutrients into the body organs or the body cells. Okay? For promoting growth, okay, and replacing worn out or injured tissues. Isa din yun, kailangan sa katawan. Di ba? Pag nagsugat ka, nagkasakit ka, kailangan mo ng nutrients. Kailangan mo ng mas nutritious na food. Okay? And then, when you talk also about nutrition, it means it encompasses the several fields na kailangan mong malaman. Before you proceed to nutrition, you should know more about biochem. Okay, biochem. Kaya nga, dumaan tayo sa cardiovascular system kasi slightly na-discuss na, slightly nagkakaroon tayo ng knowledge sa biochem. Okay? And then we also discuss about the chemistry or the chemical compound of the blood, ganun. About the biological chemical compound. And we discuss also about that. And then the physiology, yon. That's very important in nutrition. We should know about the physiology. Kasi baka lang sabihin lang natin na, ito yung apply mo, ito yung i-apply mo sa sa baboy mo, sa animal mo. Pero hindi pala yun yung tama. So we should know that because there's specific nutrition, there should be a specific recommendation on the specific organ that is being infected by a diseases. Okay? And then, ano din ang kailangan or pinaka-importante sa study of nutrition? Endocrinology. Ano ibig sabihin ng endocrinology? It talks about a study about hormones, substances or chemical activators. Okay? So kailangan alamin din niyo muna, 'di ba? Kaya nga nag-focus talaga ako sa endocrine system kasi nga lumalabas talaga sa board exam yun. And it is related to nutrition. No, as not just that, but also sa mga reproductive system and other system of the body. And also, sa nutrition, kailangan din, alaman nyo yung microbiology. Ano yung mga microbiology? It talks about the pathogenicity or pathogenesis of the animal diseases. No, dapat alam mo yun eh. Kasi pag hindi mo alam, paano ka makapagbigay ng saktong recommendation o anong gamot ang ibibigay mo. So ganun dapat alamin niyo muna kung yung aling parte ba ng katawan ang being infected by a diseases. Yon. And then you should know also anong microbiology ba siya affected by fungus, by diseases, or by fungus, by bacteria, by virus, ganon. So dapat alam niyo yun. Okay? And then next is we have genetics. Kasi you know what, guys? If hindi nyo alam yung about sa plant diseases or the microbiology, animal diseases or the microbiology about about the animal, no? Pag nagbigay kayo ng recommendation, maling recommendation will worsen. Okay? Maling recommendation po ay magkakaroon ng worse na sakit. Yun. Kasi pag magkamali, pwedeng mangyari na booster pala yun ng ganong diseases. Oh, di ba? So dapat sakto ang ibibigay. Okay? And then also genetics pag sa nutrition. Dapat alam niyo yung animal breeding and genetics. Okay? Para malaman kung ano ang DNA, anong type ng genetic information siyang meron. Okay? So now, these are the classes of nutrients and their characteristics that you need to know because this one is very important in the board examination. Lumalabas itong sila ng mga classes of nutrients. Okay? And then, when you talk about nutrients, magkaiba po ang nutrition sa nutrients. Nutrition, series of process. When you talk also about nutrients, it is the feed. It is parang let's say specific term na siya na it's feed constituents. It is the feed constituents. It means that a feed constituents or a group of a feed na pinapakain mo doon sa animals. That is nutrients. Okay? Of same general or chemical composition that aids in the support of life. Okay? What is the main function niya? Ito. Kasi may lumalabas sa exam na ganito na tanong. So always remember, pag nutrients, that is aids. Okay, aids. AIDS, hindi po yung AIDS na sakit ha. AIDS in the support of life. Yan. Yan po yung word na kailangan yung tandaan sa nutrients. Kasi may ganitong question sa board exam, tapos ang sagot po doon ay nutrients, hindi nutrition. Okay? AIDS in the support of life. Okay? So AIDS in the support of life. Bakit siya AIDS in the support of life? Because the nutrients is assisting, no? It is assisting the physiological activity to support, no, development of life. Okay? And also always remember nutrients, its basic unit is the form of nutrient which may be absorbed. Okay? Yung basic unit niya. Pag sinabi mga basic unit niya, yun po yung mga amino acids, glucose, yon, lipids, those are ash, mga ash, gano'n. Those ang tinatawag nating mga, yun po ang tinatawag natin mga basic unit ng nutrient. Okay? So, wag po nating kalimutan yan. Okay, so we will talk about the water, carbohydrates, fats, protein, minerals, and vitamins throughout the discussion for tonight's class. Okay, so beside that, we should talk about metabolism. We should talk about metabolism. Pag sinabi natin metabolism, it talks about anabolic and catabolic processes. Ano nga ba ang anabolic and catabolic processes? Pag sinabi mong anabolic processes, from the word itself, buo, or anabolic, it means that yung mga maliliit, okay, yung mga maliliit na mga tawag dyan, yung mga maliliit na mga feeds ay nabubuo. From the word itself, anabolic, nabubuo. Okay? Tapos, pag sinabi mong catabolic, yung breakdown. Okay? That's what you mean, anabolic and catabolic. Ay, sorry, hindi mo pala alam. So, yung sorry. Hindi mo pala alam yung kay YouTube channel. Sorry po. It is, Agricola. Yan. Agricola po. Search niyo po. Tapos, may farmer na sticker. Yan. Okay? That is what we call anabolic and catabolic processes. Pag sinabing anabolic, ito yung process na opposite siya sa catabolic. Bakit ko sinabi na binubuo ng anabolic yung mga maliliit? Kasi si anabolic, bigger siya. Bigger. Yun na lang isipin nyo ha, bigger. Yung mga small particles, tinutumpok. Ganon. Tapos, pag sinabing catabolic, ito yung sinasabi natin smaller. Ano ibig sabihin ng smaller? From bigger, bine-break down. Tinatagtag ba ni catabolic yung mga feeds or mga molecules, no, para ma-intake yun ng cell natin yung mga nutrients. Nagets ninyo? Yung po ibig sabihin ng catabolic, smaller. Okay, smaller molecules. Nagets nyo na? Lumalabas din sa board exam eh. Those are metabolism na kailangan yung malaman. Example, kumakain tayo ngayon. Pag kumain ka ngayon ng pan, yung pan, di ba, malaki. Malaki yon, di ba, ang pan. Pan ang ibig kong sabihin na malaki na kinakain, ha? Okay, malaki. Tapos kinakain. Pag kinain mo, anong ginagawa? Nguya-nguya mo. hanggang pinupudpud-pudpud mo. That is what we call mechanical process or what we call prehension. Diba? Nguya-nguya mo, bine-breakdown mo siya. So that is being a prehension, ng nguya-nguya. So, ibig sabihin, from anabolic, naging kata. Kasi nga, napudpud na siya. Ngayon, pagdating sa digestive system, okay, sa stomach, mas napudpud pa siya kasi nga ginagrind yun. That is the process of grinding. So, ngayon, of digestion also. So, ngayon, ang nangyari is, ano pa siya talaga, nag-breakdown pa siya into pieces, and that is what we call catabolic processes. Kasi nga, kailangan siya i-breakdown into pieces talaga para, into smaller pieces, para po yung mga nutrients ay makuha. Okay? Nagets? Kasi nga, para mapuga talaga siya ng intestine at saka masigop talaga ng villi yung mga nutrients. Nagets? And then, after that, sir, paano po siya nagiging anabolic? So, when is the time na naging anabolic po siya? Example, syempre, mag-stay siya doon sa large intestine. And those waste na may titira, syempre, pag napudpud siya, so, sa waste siya doon sa large intestine, mag-store siya doon for longer time. Tapos, pag hindi na siya kailangan, since it is waste already, it doesn't have any nutrients anymore, so ngayon, magbubuo siya sa loob ng large intestine. Di, magbubuo siya hanggang magiging tae. Tae. Nagets ninyo? Di ba yung mga tae, it's either tubol o ganon. Tubol. Tubol tuloy. Ang pangit pakinggan. Ang pangit pakinggan. So, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Walang tubol, ganon. Tapos, depende na lang kung may LBM ka o low bowel movement o yun, or nagka-LBM ka. So, yung pagka nagka-LBM ka, ibig sabihin po, merong imbalance yung water sa loob ng katawan mo. Yun, nagkaroon ng imbalance of water sa large intestine mo. So, ibig sabihin, you are deficient in sulfur. Kaya, iinom ka na po ng metronidazole. Ang metronidazole, ayan, ano yan, nagpo-promote ako ng tanang gamot. Ang metronidazole ay gamot na mga deficient in sulfur. Charot. Parang, bakit ka nag-advertiser? Actually, kasing ginagamot ko talaga pag may nafe-feel na ako something sa katawan ko or sa stomach ko, I am going to take, I am going to take metronidazole. Kasi pag na-feel ko na yun, ibig sabihin, may time na talaga na there's something wrong in my digestive system. Tapos, pag nag-LBM ka, pag ininom mo yung metronidazole, mga ilang minuto lang, okay na siya. O, kesa bibili ka pa ng loperamide, yung mga ganun, dapat basahin nyo talaga yung chemical component niya. Yun, kahit ang doktor nga, sabi niya ang ni-recommend niya sa mama ko, loperamide, ganun. Sabi ko, Doc, feeling ko much better na gamitan ng metronidazole. Yes, kasi correct. Antibacterial po siya, very good. Aside from that, antibacterial din po siya. Kasi meron kasing mga antibacterial na hindi siya good sa na hindi siya good dun sa katawan. So, sabi ng doktor, ay, very good, marunong ka na pala, parang doktor ka na, sabi ng doktor. Kasi Doc, yun po kasi ang mas magandang gamitin para kay mama. Sabi ko, okay, magaling ka na pala. So, that's why yung doktor, masaya sila pag andun ako sa hospital. Kasi madali akong Tsaka, minsan nakakapag-recommend din po ako, ganun. So, that's the reason why we need to study and study. Okay? Sir, ang metronidazole po ba is applicable po siya sa mga hayop? Yes po. That is applicable. Sa tao, it's a tablet-like. It's a tablet-like. Pero sa hayop po, that is a liquid na dinadaan po sa IV line. Okay? Dinadaan yan sa IV line. If ang aso po ninyo ay nagkaroon po ng pagtatae, yun, pagtatae po, consequent pagtatae, it's either po, bibigyan nyo po siya ng dextrose powder kasi baka may tendency na ma-dehydrate siya. Yung dextrose powder po ay mimix siya doon sa water. Pag hindi pa rin siya magaling within 24 hours, that's the time that you are going to apply metronidazole liquid or fluid. Okay, paano ginagawa yan? You are going to put an IV line. I don't know if you guys know how to put an IV line doon po sa ng hayop. Sorry, sa veins ng hayop. So, pag hindi po kayo marunong, magpa-assist po kayo sa doktor. Tapos, pwede nyo naman pong iuwi yung yung hayop. So, kailangan nyo po ng metronidazole na sa IV Live. So, hindi lang siya metronidazole ang kailangan bilhin nyo po. Pati na rin, kalimot ko na, yung kulay green na dextrose, sodium chloride, ayun. The sodium chloride also, yun, sodium chloride na ano na, yung kulay green, kailangan din po yun para hindi siya ma-dehydrate. Kasi pag nagtatae kasi yung hayop, ayun na niyan kumain. Nagkakaroon na siya ng, nade-destroy na yung kanyang appetite. Yun. So, yun po. Okay, so parang veterinary na tuloy tayo. Okay. Very good. Ang dami talagang mayroon din. Antibacterial. Tama po yun, mga antibacterial po. Kasi yung ating large intestine po, meron po kasi siyang, there are also enzymes that helping to, to balance the, waste, water, and bacterials inside of our body. Okay, so what are those basic unit na sinasabi ko kanina pa talaga na mga basic unit? Okay, so ililista ko dito ha. So what are those basic unit? Example, protein. So what is the basic unit of protein? It is amino acid. Amino acid. The basic unit of protein is amino acid. Amino acid. Okay? Next, what is the basic unit of mineral? The basic unit of mineral is any soluble form. Actually, dalawa naman sila eh. Si mineral tsaka si vitamins po ay any soluble form. Ano ibig sabihin ng any soluble form? Kahit ano po, basta natutunaw. Okay? Natutunaw. Any soluble or natutunaw na form type of yan, nutrients. Ayan. Any soluble form or natutunaw. Okay? Pag sinabi naman nating starch, okay? Starch po, ang kanyang basic unit ay glucose. Glucose pag non-ruminants. Okay? Glucose pag non-ruminants. Non-ruminants. Glucose pag non-ruminants. And then, pag ruminants po, that is volatile fatty acid. Okay? Kasi magkaiba eh. Volatile fatty acid and lactic acid. Okay? Pag sa ruminant. Ruminant. Ang basic unit ng starch sa ruminant ay volatile fatty acid kasi nga because they are ruminants, yun, mga ruminants. So, because of the, ang tawag dyan, because of the yung mga grasses na kinakain nila, yun. Because of the cellulose, yun. So we have, kasi yung cellulose, ang dahilan kaya matigas talaga siya i-digest, no? Ganon din yun. We have volatile fatty acids and lactic acids for ruminant. Okay, for ruminants. Okay? So yan po ay for starch. And then next is for cellulose. Pag cellulose naman, ito talaga yung cellulose naman is volatile fatty acids. Okay? Volatile fatty acids, both ruminant and non-ruminants. Pag sucrose, okay? Pag sucrose, ang basic unit po ng sucrose ay glucose and fructose. Glucose and fructose. Okay? Ang fructose po, ito po ay the sweetest among all sugar. And then, ang lactose naman, or lactose, ginagamit po siya sa paggawa ng gatas. Like, lactose bacillus na bacteria. Okay? Lactose is glucose and galactose. Okay? Glucose and galactose. Okay? Ayan. Galactose. Pag lactose. Yan. Okay. So, pag lipids, yun. Sa fats po yun. Pag lipids, okay. Fats or lipids, yan. Fats or lipids naman, yan po ay fatty acids tsaka glycerol. Okay? Fatty acids and glycerol. Di ba nag-explain na ako sa inyo about glycerol or glycogen? Yan, glycerol. Glycerol. Yan. So that is what we call for lipids. Yan. Okay? So yan ang mga kailangan yung tandaan ng mga basic units. Okay? So now let's proceed. Okay na ba tayo? Are we okay with this? Naintindihan ba? So that we can proceed. Pa-thumbs up ako. Very good. So we can proceed now. Talaga si Kimberly, talaga Sir. Si Sir Kimberly, parang ano na, confident enough na talaga si Sir Kimberly. Ready ka na ba, Sir Kimberly? Kasi hindi ka nag-attend kasi nag-focus talaga ako, sir. Charot. Talagang nag-focus, ha? Hopefully, guys, you are done with your UPLB. Please, finish your UPLB booklet. Iwan nyo na yung ibang reviewer. Wag lang yung UPLB. Yun lang. Talagang masabi ko sa inyo. And then we have water. Okay? Pag water, when you talk about water, it is defined as the cheapest. Okay? Siya yung pinaka-cheap. Yan. The cheapest and most abundant. Okay? And it is the most abundant. Cheapest, pero most abundant. Okay? Cheapest and most abundant nutrient. Okay? Cheapest po siya and pinaka-abundant na nutrient. Bakit siya abundant? Kasi nakikita mo naman yung water sa river, sa lake. Cheapest kasi hindi mo naman siya binibili. Except dun sa mga mineral water na binibili mo. Kasi kailangan nyo ng katawan. Pero yung mga hayop naman, they can drink water. As, alam naman nila yung kung saan ang mas clean na water. Ganon. Okay? So, when you talk also about water, it is makes up of, iba po yung water ng young animal. Ibig sabihin ng young animal, yung bagong anak, yung anak pa lang, yung baby pa lang, yung offspring pa lang po, offspring, yon. Iba din po ang water na requirement ng mga matured or old animals. Sa young, yung kanilang ano po talaga is 85% ng water ang kailangan. Okay? 85% ang kailangan ng mga young, mga bata. Kasi nga, because their bones are still developing. Yun. And then, sa old naman is 60%. Okay? 60% po ang kailangan ng water sa kanilang body weight. Okay? Yun. Actually, ganito po yan. Pag tumatanda po tayo, pag tumatanda po tayo, bumababa yung water requirement po natin. Nagets natin? Pag tumatanda tayo, bumababa yung water requirements natin. Okay? So that is what we call old. Okay? Sa mga old. Pagkaiba po sila ng percentage. Sorry, again, hindi pa ako nagbibigay ng slides. Kasi kahit ibigay ko yan sa inyo, makita nyo lang water, carbohydrates, wala pong mga ganyan. Okay? Wala pong mga sulat. Okay? And then next is we have, pag water naman, it is the percentage of the body. Water decreases with animal age. No, pag tumatagal nga tayo ay pag tumatanda ay bumababa yung water requirements natin. Naintindihan po ba about sa water? Hindi, iba po yung water na sayaw. Water, ganun. Ay, wag kayo mag-alala. Sasayaw ko ng water sa TikTok als i-reels ko. Para maraming mag-ganon-ganon. No? Mag-share. Magbo-water si sir. Ganon. Okay, next na tayo is carbohydrates. Okay, let's now proceed to carbohydrates. When you talk about carbohydrate, it is made up of, ano ba made up of si carbohydrates? Carbon is 40%. Okay, 40% of carbon. The hydrogen is 7%. Okay, the hydrogen is 7%. And the oxygen po is 53%. Okay? So, ano ba yan? Yan, it's 53%. Sorry kasi hindi kasi ako naka-iPad yun. 53%. Okay? Poor lang si sir. Yayaman din tayo in the name of Jesus Christ. Ganon. So, we declare it. Yayaman din po tayo. Ipoprovide din ni Lord yung kailangan natin para mas madaling ma-discuss ni Sir ng maayos. Ayun, so carbohydrates po, pag carbon is 40%. Pag hydrogen is 7%. Tapos pag oxygen po is 53%. Pag carbohydrates. So, yan po ang kanyang chemical composition. Okay? So, kailangan alam niyo yan. Just be familiar on that. It is by percentage of the molecular weight po. Percentage po, ito po ay nakadetermine. Nagva-vary po yan by molecular weight. Okay? So, what is the function of the carbohydrates, by the way? The function of the carbohydrates is for the source of energy. Yun, pinakano ng animal. The function of the carbohydrates in the animal body is for the source of energy. Okay. Source of energy. Kaso ang mga lalaki, iba ang source of energy nila every night. Char! Ano ang source of energy nila every night? Si Sir Kimberly, ano ang source of energy mo every night? Yung asawa ko po, sir. Okay. Yan. So, yun. That is the source of energy. The source of energy. Yung source of energy ko yung kalang lang. Ganon. Hi. Hi sa mga bebe ko dyan. Source of energy. And then, pwede din po yan. Ang fats din po can be used as source of energy. Pero, may conversion po na nangyayari doon. May conversion. Later on, we will talk about fats on the conversion of energy. Okay, dito lang muna tayo mag-start sa carbohydrates. Talaga, kitang-kita ko na talaga, excited talaga si Sir Kimberly. Sir Kimberly, nakikita ko na talaga, sir, papasa talaga tayo nito. Papasa tayo lahat. Papasa tayo. Yan. Kasi nga, nakikita ko na there's a development, there's an improvement already. Dati, hindi talaga, sir, ano ibig sabihin? Pero ngayon, alam niya na talaga. Okay? Now, it's not about the age. It's about the knowledge. Charot? Perfect. Okay. Okay, next is carbohydrate. That's also the source of energy. And the next is the source of heat. Oh, di ba? Sinasabi ko sa inyo eh. What is the source of your heat? Okay. Also, it is the source. Pag meron pong source of energy, ibig sabihin, meron po siyang source of heat. Okay? Pag may source of energy, meron po siyang source of heat. Okay? At the same time, ang carbohydrates din po, siya din po yung nagbi-building stores for other nutrients. Kumbaga, siya din po yung nagsisilbing storage for other nutrients. Okay? Siya yung naging storage for other nutrients. Kumbaga, the other nutrients cannot be built without the carbohydrates. Parang ganon. Okay? And then, ano pang functions ng carbohydrates? Okay? Stored in animal body by converting the fats. It is stored in the animal body by converting the fats. Di ba we discussed already about digestive system wherein the, glucose is converted into glycogen or glycerol. Di ba nag-talk na tayo about nun? So, kaya nga, conversion din siya ng fats. Okay? Conversion din po siya ng fats. Si carbohydrates. Diba nag-talk na tayo niyan? Si glucose can be a glycerol or glycogen. Diba? Si glycogen can be a glucose. Diba? Merong part ng organ, what is the organ of the body? Anong body organ, sir? Anong body organ ang nagko-convert ng mga ganito? About the glucose and glycogen. Glucose to glycogen, what part of the body, what organ of the body? Nag-discuss na tayo niyan, dun sa digestive system. Pag may exist na glucose, kino-convert nyo ni sinong organ? Into glycogen. Sino ba yung responsible for glycogen? Ano ba yung glycogen? Ano ba yung glycerol? They are lipids, right? They are fats. Sino yung responsible for that? For maintenance? Anong organ yun? Stephanie. Glucose to pancreas. Liver. Very good. It is liver. Dali lang ha. Okay. So that is yon. It is the liver that converting glucose into glycogen. And then what body organ naman yung glycogen to glucose? It is what? It is pancreas, correct. It is pancreas that converting the glycogen into glucose. Very good. That is the body organ responsible for that. So marami pa silang marami pa silang function. Yes, sir. Marami po silang function. So just watch the video about the animal science yung last night po na diniscuss po namin. Okay? Para ma-idea po kayo. Sorry. Hindi pala siya nagana. Okay. Next is okay. Sorry. Ayan. So, ano ang deficiency? Anong mangyayari kung okay, dito na tayo. Okay. So, okay. There is also a deficiency in the carbohydrates. Okay? If if there is a deficiency of abnormal metabolism, okay? Abnormal metabolism, deficiency pala word. Deficiency, abnormal metabolism, meaning magkakaroon siya ng ketosis, okay? Ketosis, pwede din magkaroon siya ng diabetes mellitus, okay? Pwede magkaroon siya ng ketosis or diabetes mellitus. Sir, ano ba yung ketosis? Pag sinabi po ng ketosis, underweight po yan. Ibig sabihin, magaan po talaga siya. Magaan. Yun. Ketosis, magaan yung katawan niya, ganun. Hindi siya mabigat because of deficient or lacking siya sa carbo. Okay? Yan po ang ibig sabihin ng ketosis. Pag ketosis, nangayayat yung katawan. Pag diabetes mellitus po, ibig sabihin less yung sugar level. Okay? So, yan po ang deficient sa carbohydrates. Okay? Nagets ninyo ang carbohydrates? Okay. So, now, let's proceed to fats. Okay? Sa fats naman, so actually, sa fats, it is made up of 77 carbon, 77% of carbon. Okay? And the hydrogen is 12%, 12% of hydrogen. And then, oxygen is 11%. Okay? 11% of oxygen. So that is under fats. And always remember that the fats will yield an energy of more than 2.25 times of energy. Okay? Ilang times nga ba ang ini-yield ng fats na energy? 2.25. Okay? 2.25 times of more energy than the carbohydrates or proteins. So the fats can yield an energy of 2.25 times than of the carbohydrates kesa sa carbohydrates at protein. Okay? So, ganun po. Lumalabas yan sa exam kung ilan times po yung kayang ma-yield na energy ni fats. And that is 2.25 times. Okay? And always remember that the function of the fats is for dietary supply. Okay? Ano yun? Dietary supply. Kaya nga yung isa sa magpapadiet muna ako ngayon, hindi muna ako kakain ng maraming rice, hindi muna ako kakain ng hindi muna ako kakain ng maraming meat. Kasi it's also for dietary supply. Okay? Sa hayop, kailangan sila more on fats or more para mabigat kasi yung siyempre binibenta natin. Sa tao, hindi naman kailangan na maraming fats kasi hindi naman tayo binibenta. Hindi naman tayo kinikilo para ibenta, ganun. So, ang ating kagandahan lang. So, yan, kaya nagda-dietary tayo. And again, also, ang fats din po ay source ng heat. Yan. It is source of heat ang fats. And also, not just heat, insulation. Okay? Insulation. And protection. Okay? And protection. Bakit siya protection? Bakit siya insulation? Okay. Saan ba natatagpuan ang deposed tissue? Saan natatagpuan ang deposed tissue, Stephanie? Saan natatagpuan ang deposed tissue, Stephanie? Stephanie yung tatanungin ko talaga dito. Very good. Sa dermis. Okay, ang deposed tissue po ay natatagpuan talaga sa dermis. Yan. Bakit? Andyan po kasi yung mga yung mga fats sa dermis, di ba? Epidermis ay labas ng ano natin, ng skin. Ang sunod po niyan ay dermis. Sa loob po ng dermis, andyan po yung mga organs like nerves, capillaries, ano pa ba? Hair roots, yung sweat gland, oil gland, andyan po yun. Yung mga lubricated type. Andyan po sa dermis yan. So below the dermis, andyan po yung tinatawag natin na the fat tissue or the deposed tissue. Okay? The deposed tissue. Charot. Baka deposed tissue. So what is the purpose, no, of that deposed tissue is for insulation. That is the purpose of the deposed tissue in below the dermis. Okay? And then, what also is the purpose of the fats? It is also for the protection of the internal organs. So hindi agad-agad na dermis, tapos buto agad. Hindi ganon. Okay? Hindi po ganon yon. Ibig sabihin, epidermis, sa loob, dermis, tapos sa loob pa talaga, ang katatlong parte ay deposed tissue. Okay, ganito yan. Drawing ko na lang. Yan, parang hindi tayo na grade 2. Ayan. Okay. This is the dermis. Saan po nakikita si cuticle and si wax? Si dermis. Ayan. Sorry, ano ba yan? Mali pala. Kasi malaki kasi yung ano, yung occupied ng dermis. Yan, mali. Yan. Dermis. Tapos, deposed tissue. Tapos, dito na yung internal organs. Internal organs. Okay? And other organelles. Fluid, meron pa yung fluid dyan. Fluid, blah, blah, blah. Ganun. Ito yung epidermis natin sa labas. Hawakan mo yung skin mo. Epidermis yan. Yan. Only bellow can touch your skin. Yan. Epidermis yan. Tapos sunod ay dermis. Okay. Pangalawa ay dermis. Si dermis, andyan na yung mga organ na kailangan sa integumentary system. Andyan si hair loss, si capillaries, si sweat gland, si oil gland, andyan yan sila. Si nerve cells, andyan po yan. Nerve. Sensory nerve pala yun, sensory nerve. Tapos, sa baba po niyan ay deposed tissue. Si deposed tissue po ay fatty tissues used for insulation and protection. Okay? Next, si lipids or fats also is also known as ether extracts. Okay? Fats, lipids, or ether extracts. Kasi nga ginagamit siya for insulation. Ether extracts. Yan. Okay. So aside from that, the function also of the fats is the source po siya ng essential fatty acids. Okay? Essential fatty acids. And we have linolenic. Yan, linoleic. Yan, sorry, linoleic. Yan. Linolenic. Yan, linolenic. And arachidonic. Yan. Acid. Okay. Si essential fatty acids po, yun po mga kailangan sa katawan ng mga essential, po, importante. Yan, mga essential, mga omega plus, gano'n. Okay? Si linoleic naman po, yan po ay tinatawag nating, if I'm not mistaken, that is 6 omega. Andali, ha? It's linoleic. Okay. Linoleic acid. Linolenic acid. Yan. Okay. So, yun. Si linoleic acid, there are essential fatty acids. Okay? There are essential fatty acids which contain 6 fatty acids. Okay? 6 fatty acids. Si linoleic. Okay? Linoleic. Sige, wait lang. Ito po sila ay mga, ayan, sila po ay tinatawag na mga essential fatty acids. Yan sila. Pati si, ito. Ito, essential fatty acids din ito. Okay? So, linoleic has a 6. Okay, meron siyang 6 omega-6 fatty acid, sorry. Omega-6. Omega-6 fatty acids. Okay? Si linolenic, omega-3. Okay? Omega-3 fatty acids. Ay, fatty acids pala. Yan. Omega-3 fatty acids din si linolenic. Tinaasan lang yung name niya. Longer lang yung name niya. Okay? Those are both are essential fatty acids. Okay, what do you mean by essential fatty acids? Those are fatty acids na, ano ibig sabihin po niyan? Pag sinabing essential fatty acids, ito po yung mga acids na hindi kayang masynthesize ng katawan. Okay? Cannot be synthesized by the body. Okay? Cannot be synthesized by the body. So anong gawin mo if there is a lacking on this? Kailangan mahanap mo yung kanilang occurrences or synthesize ng spelling. Occurrences or saan ka kukuha ng source of linoleic yon acid. Okay? Nagets? That is amino acid. Fats pala, sorry. That is fats or fatty acids. Naget ninyo, pag sinabi nating essential amino acid, ibig sabihin hindi siya or cannot be synthesized by the body. So, kailangan ipoprovide mo talaga. Hanapan mo ng occurrences. Okay? Yung mga occurrences. Saan sila yung mga sources ng linolenic, yung ganon. Actually, diniscuss na natin yan last time. Di ba sabi ko sa inyo, memorize niyo yung sources, yung occurrences nila. Di ba mayroon yun, mga coconut oil. Di ba? Jason, can you still remember that? Yung coconut oil, o yung mga unsaturated fats, yon. Saturated fats, unsaturated fats, tapos yung mga occurrences nila. Maybe you can share that, Stephanie, sa GC. Do you still have that picture? Can you send it sa GC na lang? Pwede? Yes, thank you. Yes, Sir King Fred, do you have any question? May question ka, Sir King? Ayun. So, 11.3 na pala. So yun na, ay proteins na naman din po tayo sunod. Tapos, ang fats din po ay carrier po siya, serve as carrier for absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Okay? Si fats din po ay carrier din po siya ng absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Okay? So, what are the deficiency in the fats? What are the deficiency or and abnormal metabolism niya? Okay? Deficiency and abnormal deficiency. Deficiency ng fats sa abnormal metabolism niya. Una, magkakaroon ng skin lesions. Yan. Skin lesions because there's no fats at all. Magkakaroon ng skin lesions. Yun. Parang kaliskis ng isda. Yun. Hair loss, ibig sabihin kulang ka sa protina. Hair loss po. Yan, ako din. Stress naman itong tawag sa akin kaya hair loss ako. And again, reduce growth rate. Mababa yung growth rate mo. Okay? And aside from that, ketosis. Yan din. Ketosis din. Nagkakaroon ng ketosis. Okay? Ibig sabihin, bakit siya nagkakaroon ng ketosis? Kasi nga, catabolism of fat, of body fat. Okay, catabolism of body fat. Nagkakaroon ng catabolism sa body fat. Kasi yung fat kasi natin also source of energy and heat din. Kaya nga kukuha siya doon, kaya nagkakaroon ng ketosis. Okay, and then fatty liver, yan talaga. Ito, laging sakit. Fatty liver. So pag nagkaroon ng fatty liver, ibig sabihin nagkaroon ng abnormal metabolism sa liver. It's either magkakaroon ka ng yun, hepatic. Pwede din yun, magkaroon ka ng hepatic. Okay? Are you aware with the word marbling? Are you aware with the word marbling? Marbling, yung sebo ng baka. Are you familiar with that? That is marbling. Di ba pag nagluluto ng sabaw ng baka, tapos may puti-puti na lumalabas, those are unsaturated fats. Tinatawag natin yun na unsaturated fats or marbling. Marbling. Okay? Yun po ang tawag na marbling. Unsaturated fats. Tapos po yung milk ay composed po siya ng fats. Okay? Meron din pong fats ang milk. Nagets nyo? Pero walang iron ang milk. Meron siyang fats. Okay? Nagets natin? Nagets ba? So that we can proceed to the proteins. Very good. So let's proceed to proteins po. Sa proteins po tayo, or we have also the crude proteins. So ilan na lang? We still have proteins, minerals, vitamins. Yun. Yun na lang. Tatlo na lang sila para makatulog tayo ng maaga. Maaga? 11 na nga. Okay. Proteins is a large molecules that made up of ilang carbon? 53% of carbon. Okay. And then 7% of hydrogen. Okay. And then 23% of oxygen. And then the nitrogen is 16%. And lastly, it has phosphorus. Phosphorus of 1%. So that is protein. Okay? And always remember that crude protein, the word crude protein. Crude protein. Ito po yung kailangan sa katawan ng hayop yan. Crude protein composed of true proteins. Ano meron sa crude protein? True proteins. Totoong proteins and any nitrogenous products. And any nitrogenous products. Okay? Nitrogenous products. So, crude protein is composed of true protein and any nitrogenous products. Okay? So, the crude protein, in order to get the crude protein, you need to have this formula. Percent of nitrogenous product times 6.25. Saan nakuha ang 6.25? That is standard in the protein. Okay, computation. The ratio. Okay, 6.25. That's how you're going to get the crude protein. Okay, the percent of the nitrogenous products times the 6.25. Okay, always remember that the protein quality, it refers to the amount and ratio of essential amino acids present in protein. Okay? Ang protein quality po ay naka-refer siya sa amount at ratio. Amount or amount and ratio ng isang essential amino acids na present sa protein. Yun po ang protein quality. Okay? Protein quality. So there are two types of amino acids. We have essential and non-essential. So, i-discuss ko lang siya sa inyo, pero yung mga listahan nun, isasend ko na lang sa GC, ha? Essential and essential amino acids. Kasi na malabas sa exam din yan. Non-essential. Okay? So, pag sinabing essential amino acids, ito yung mga amino acids na which are essential to the animal and must be supplied in the diet because the animal cannot be synthesized. Parang ano lang siya, parang essential fatty acids. Okay? Si essential amino acids po ay parang essential fatty acids siya. hindi kayang ma-synthesize ng katawan or ng katawan ng hayop. Cannot be synthesized. So anong kailangan gawin? Okay, pag cannot be synthesized, ang kailangan gawin po ay magbibigay ka ng or magsusupply ka ng diet. So either pakainin mo ng ganitong feeds, o diba? Para ma-providean kasi ang essential amino acids. Ang non-essential amino acids, it cannot be supplied, it's either supplied by the diet or not. Since hindi naman siya importante, non-essential naman siya, normally, it can synthesize or sufficient by the body. Okay? Okay? Hindi siya, it cannot be supplemented. Cannot be synthesis. Ang non-essential naman cannot be supplemented. Cannot be supplemented kasi nga, kaya mag-provide ng katawan yung non-essential. They are also known as trace minerals. Okay? Sorry, trace protein. Okay? Trace amino acids. Okay? So pag sinabing essential nga ulit, ano ibig sabihin yun? Cannot be synthesized ng katawan. Hindi kayang i-provide ng katawan, so kailangan magpo-provide ka ng pagkain na rich in essential amino acids. Pag non-essential po, ibig sabihin po, hindi siya hindi naman kailangan supplemented. It cannot be supplemented by the diet, but the body, ang katawan po, kayang mag-supplement nun or kaya niyang mag-generate ng non-essential fatty acids. Non-essential, kasi para sa sila kasi ng definition na kaya mag-generate ng non-essential amino acids. Nagets po ninyo? Nagets? So the list will be given na lang po sa GC kasi lumalabas din sa exam yun. Sa isa-isahin ko pa. So what is the function of the protein? The function of the protein is basic structural unit of the animal. Para saan yun? Sa collagen, elastin, that's the purpose of protein. Also sa keratin protein, sa buhok, sa melanin, kailangan din po yan. Sa blood, kailangan din po yan ang protein. And for body metabolisms, tulad sa enzymes, hormones, immune antibodies, tapos hereditary transmission, kailangan po talaga ng amino acids or protein. Okay? So, what will be the deficiency and abnormalities? What is the symptoms if you have deficient in protein? The symptoms, if you have if the animal have deficient in proteins, it means it has reduced growth rate. Mabababa yung kanyang growth rate and feed efficiency. And may tendency, yung symptoms niya, magkaroon siya ng anorexia. Okay? Anorexia. Anorexia at saka infertility. Ano yung ibig sabihin po ng infertility? Pwede magpagkabaog o hindi siya makaanak. 'Yon. Ang anorexia po, ito ibig sabihin po nito ay nagkakaroon ng eating disorder or nawawalan po ng gana or nawawala yung appetite niya. Okay? So, yun po ang symptoms ng mababa ang protina. Okay? So, aside from that, pag nagkaroon talaga ng deficient or mababa ang protein or amino acids po, ibig sabihin po niyan, lack of an important amino acids which result to deamination. Okay? Which results to deamination. So, ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng deamination? Removal of an amino group. Nagkakaroon ng removal of amino group from a molecule. Yun po ibig sabihin nun ng, sige nga po deficient po sa amino acids, deficient of amino acids, magkakaroon ng, okay, kung lack siya ng important amino acid, magre-result sa deamination. Okay, deamination. Ang deamination po ay yung nare-remove na unti-unti ang mga group of amino acids. Removal of group of amino acids. Group of amino acids. Okay? So yan po ibig sabihin ng deficiency of amino acids. Nagets po ninyo? So we can proceed now to minerals. Pag sinabing minerals, always remember that the total mineral content of the plants or animals is often called ash. 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 Yan po ang result ng mineral. Ash. Huwag kalimutan ha. Yan po ang result ng mineral. Ash. So what are the major minerals na kailangan natin alamin? Pag sinabi natin major minerals, those are macro minerals. So later on, i-send ko sa inyo yung mga macro minerals also. Okay, actually meron naman din siya sa GE. I-check niyo marami doon. Okay, lumalabas din po yun sa exam. But don't worry, isasama ko naman siya sa last minute review para ma-review natin siya ulit. Okay? So, we have macro minerals. What are those macro minerals? We have the calcium, potassium, sodium, chloride, phosphorus, pala to, calcium, phosphorus, sodium, chloride, potassium, ayan, magnesium, and sulfur. So there are macro minerals. Pag sinabi mong macro minerals, kinakailangan ng greater amount of these minerals sa katawan ng hayop. Pag sinabi mo namang minor minerals, micro or trace minerals, always remember ha, ang trace minerals ay magkapares lang po sila ni micro minerals. Kasi substituable naman po sila. Ganon. So, what are those micro minerals? We have cobalt, zinc, copper, okay, copper, zinc, cobalt, yan, guluhan tuloy ako, fluorine, iodine, yan, iron, manganese, okay, selenium, isa din po yon, and are toxic, no? Yung mga microminerals po kasi, nagiging toxic po sila pag large quantities. Sabi sabihin, malaki yung application. If there are greater application on the microminerals, magiging toxic po siya sa katawan ng hayop. Okay, magiging toxic siya sa katawan ng hayop. Okay, na-gets na ninyo? And yung mga minerals po, may mga functions po yan. Kaya isasend ko sa inyo. Okay? Basahin nyo ulit para maalala ninyo. Okay? Pwede din po yun. Tsaka gawaan ko na lang din ng quizzes para mas ma-retain siya sa last minute review. Gets? So, hindi lang animal breeding pag-uusapan and genetics sa last minute review ng animal science, but also the gestation period, computation, and then ito, ang mga minerals. Okay? And then, now, naintindihan nyo na ba yung minerals? Ash, tapos macro and micro. Okay, na-gets ninyo na. So, we can proceed now to vitamins. Okay, sa vitamins na po tayo. Pag sinabi po ng vitamins, ito po ibig sabihin nito ay, pag sinabing vitamins, importante siya for development of normal tissue. Okay, for the development of normal tissue. Okay, it is essential for the development of normal tissue, development po ng normal tissue. Kaya kailangan natin ng vitamins pag meron pang feel natin na nagda-dry skin na tayo, ganon. Necessary for metabolic activity but do not enter into structural portion of the body. Okay? And always remember that the vitamins cannot be synthesized by the animal. Okay? Ang vitamins po ay cannot be synthesized by the animal. Hindi po yan kayang ma-synthesize ng animal. Cannot be synthesized by the animals. Okay? And what are the related substances? Example, yung mga carotene, those are vitamins. Okay? And do not forget the classification and structure of vitamins kasi lumalabas ito sa exam. Pag fat-soluble vitamins, yun po ang tinatawag nating ADEC. ADEC. Hindi po yung addict ha. Iba po yung addict sa ADEC. 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 O, isasend ko pa rin yung mga definition ng bawat vitamins na to. Ang A is retinol. Okay, sa pagkakalam ko, that is retinol, ang A. Ang D naman is calciferol, ang D. Ang E is tocopherol, yan. Tapos ang K po is menadione. So may mga iba't ibang uses po yan sila. So isisend ko na lang sa inyo mamaya. Okay, pagkatapos ng klase. And then we have also the water-soluble vitamins. So water-soluble vitamins. What are those water-soluble vitamins? Those are what we call the vitamin B. Okay, so what are those vitamin B? Meron tayo yung thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pyridoxine, pantothenic acid. Yan, lumalabas sa mga exam. Biotin, choline, folic acid. Those are water-soluble vitamin. Alam mo yung sabihin ng water-soluble vitamin? Kaya lang siyang masolute or matunaw gamit ang tubig. Okay? So, yun. So, that is water-soluble vitamins. Pwede siyang isama sa pag-inom, ganon. Always remember that the functions and deficiency of the vitamin play role as regulator of metabolism. Ano ang vitamins talaga? Yung role po talaga niya is to regulate metabolism. Regulate metabolism. Okay? Metabolism. Regulate metabolism and necessary po siya for growth and maintenance. Okay? Growth and maintenance. Okay. And also, the vitamins requirement may also increase in old age. Okay? Due to difficulties in absorption and utilization. So, pag tumataas po yung edad natin, tumataas din po yung pangangailangan natin sa vitamins. Di ba? So, yan po ang ibig sabihin po ng vitamins. Nagets po ninyo? Okay, nagets ba ninyo? Very good. Kasi nagets po nila. Okay, so we have also the growth and maintenance. Okay, pag growth and maintenance po, dyan po yung tinatawag natin na basal metabolism and fasting catabolism. Ano ibig sabihin ng basal? Basal metabolism and fasting metabolism. Okay. Fasting metabolism. Ito po ay ibig sabihin minimum energy expenditure to maintain essential life process. Ano yan? Minimum. Yan, minimum energy. Yan, minimum energy expenditures. Yan. Kailangan, okay, to maintain expenditures, to maintain, kailangan, to maintain po the essential life process. Okay, maintain essential life process. Okay, so that is basal metabolism and fasting metabolism. Okay, so do not worry more about growth and maintenance. I will be giving you also one of the important things that you need to know about this one, especially talking about the crude fat, crude fiber, the ash, and the crude protein. So I will be discussing this on the last minute review para mas fresh pa sa inyo. And then, do not forget also the scientific name of the Raphigest. Class, do not forget the scientific name of the Raphigest. What are those Raphigest? Yung mga alabang X, centrosema, ipil-ipil, huwag kalimutan yung mga scientific names nun, ha? So, isasend ko sa inyo ngayon sa GC. Pati na din yung average daily growth. Yun, daily gain, average daily gain. Yun, tapos yung feed per kilogram. Yun, meron din yun sa GC guys. Sa GE pala, sa GE. So you can check it sa GE naman. Okay, so that could be all for tonight. So thank you very much everyone. So we are done with the animal nutrition. So by tomorrow po, we will be having our final coaching, which is the, hindi siya final coaching para, sorry. It will be the rationale. Okay, the title of my discussion tomorrow po is the rationale. So kindly, please lang po kung pwede po tayo umabot na mga around, can we start as early as 7? Kasi baka abot na naman tayo ng 12 eh. So, as early as we can. So, mga 5 or 6, ganon. Basta po, below, Kasi sa Sunday po kasi meron tayong mass. 30 minutes po yun, 7:30. Please attend po kayo lahat ha sa mass. 7:30 po magsisimula sa Sunday ng gabi. Okay? We will have a prayer. Nag-request ako ng pastora po para, si pastora namin, para siya po lagi nagpe-pray for us actually. And then po, nag-send na din po ako ng message sa church namin na i-pray po tayong lahat with all the list of your names. Lahat po tayo, kasama po tayo. Wala pong maiiwan. Okay? Kahit dito din po magpe-pray din po kami. Saka tayo magpe-pray din tayo before the board examination. Ha? Laban lang po tayo. So yung hindi pa po nakakakilala sa akin, by the way, I am Angelo Espinosa po. Ayan po. I am Yes, please kindly check my YouTube channel for more videos and do not forget to subscribe, charot. Sorry. Ayan, and then comment na rin din po kayo ng mga magagandang pwede na din siguro yung mga bad para maging artista na po ako. Charot lang. And then yun na po, salamat po everyone and good night na po sa lahat. And tomorrow po, we will check your ultimate final coaching na pina-answer ko sa inyo. Okay? So 6 subjects po ang i-discuss natin tomorrow with rationale. So that the title of my discussion for tomorrow is the rationale. So see you and I will be broadcasting on YouTube. Magla-live pa ako sa YouTube para yung iba, you can share the video or yung YouTube link po sa Facebook account para ma-access po nila yon na nagtuturo ako. Okay? So thank you very much everyone and have a good AJ, kumusta? Are you there na? Are you okay na? Nakarating ka na ba sa sa destination mo? Nakarating ka na ba, AJ?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. At ligtas. Lahat naman po, yung mga magbabiyahe, ingat-ingat po tayo, ha? Again, bye-bye everyone. Ulit, anong sasabihin ni sir? Kamsahamnida. Ayan, kamsahamnida. Annyeonghaseyo moseyo. Ayan, chara sayo everyone. And then, advance what? Chukkahamnida. Ayun, chukkahamnida. Advance of na laging excited. So bukas, one day to go. Ayun. So, bye-bye everyone. Chajayo. Annyeonghaseyo. Bye-bye. Kamsahamnida.
Diyaman po,
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Sorry, hindi ko ba?